Today, Confederation entities, we ask, how do we relate to being on the threshold of transformation, where we let go of old patterns and conditions and make space for new patterns and conditions? How does cooperation with our friends in a group help us maintain a stability through change? I am Kuo. Greetings, my brothers and sisters, in the love and light that circles around us and around you. Those elements of our one infinite Creator, whose depth and profundity we celebrate this day with your circle. We are very pleased to once again bring our vibration synthesizing several Confederation complexes. We realize this instrument wishes to practice the gift of discernment across vibrations. My brother, can you practice this within our band? Learning to catch the odor of those of Monka, or those of other less distinct complexes. The name that comes to mind startles you, and yet go with it. For you are in our vibration, blending with many. And in this way, your circle inducts your fellow humans into the blending that is the Confederation. As you share and commiserate with each other, you realize that even the struggles are limed with joy. And in the sharing, you offer the planet and the Creator, by extension, ingress into the illusion, the mirror that the original thought has proposed might yield insight. As we begin our message, let us, as usual, caution those who shall consume our message to use their utmost discernment. It is in this discernment, this careful seating of the words and thoughts we bring to bear, that you serve as our partners for the diction and chosen sound vibratory complexes we select through and in tandem with this instrument are but a means to an end that you ground and bless your friends and family, your acquaintances, and the strangers who encounter you. It seems like sometimes all of the arrangements to bring a working such as this into a state of fruition must be done in just so a way. And this is helpful to the extent that it frees your hearts to dream a common dream with the Creator in each element you sense in this working. When, however, the arrangements and limitations become confining and uncomfortable, you may release the stricture, as our brothers and sisters of Ra have coined this phrase. You may riff and step outside the limitations of the sheet music. Your solo, even in tension and dissonance, may yet, in spite of everything the emotional body brings to bear as a sense, may yet lead back to oneness, may find its way to the root note, and with faith that harmony will be the product of diligently listening and following the band off track, so to speak. You may unleash the creativity that each of you bring to this session. That yearning and calling that brings about a new side of the seeker's path. With this convoluted disclaimer, we demonstrate precisely what we mean. And setting aside our warning, we would segue into the topic which involves these moments of crossing the threshold from the known but worn out and depleted portion of experience, to make that room for what is new, what is in potential and being activated by your seeking and calling. If we seem to trivialize this, you have our apologies, for with no portions of ourselves so kept in the dark as the veil affords you in your awareness. We encounter transformation as a constant, continuous melody. Knowing ourselves, knowing our vibration, means we can follow this path wherever it may lead us without losing our way or losing ourselves. Now, this fear that you may feel, this trepidation that attends the crossing of the threshold, such that you release what has been. Because of this veil, you do not see the plan, its enumerated steps strewn out across the page. You cannot simply read ahead or go back with perfect recollection to comfort yourself with the goodness of where you have been led in the past and ended up. We would pause for just a moment to point out, though you have woes and sorrows and fears, my siblings, are you not safe at this moment? Are you not wrapped in security and protection and warmth and love? Those of Hatan once said, commenting upon that prayer Jesus shared with his followers, an interpretation of the line, "Give us this day our daily bread." And they commented thusly, you are not entitled to a risk-free certainty of the future when it comes to your abilities to sustain yourselves, be that financially, emotionally, as a matter of identity. This day you ask for what you need. This day, not any other. And if you can take your faith from the recognition that there is, in truth, only one moment, and there is, in truth, one place on the path, then you will know with solid certainty that the possibilities for ruin and sorrow are not a part of your awareness except to the extent that you invoke them. For now, right now, you breathe the air, the atmosphere of your Mother Earth, who has provided you a nesting place on her bosom. And you are secure insofar as you have a heartbeat and an awareness now. What we mean to say, my brothers and sisters, is that the threshold is illusory and only offers a lesson should you wish it. Now, you do wish it. Each of you has spoken of the apprehension of moving into the new. This is the feeling tone that is a portion, a very important piece of the archetypal experience of third density, namely the matrix of the mind, known to many on your planet who have opened to the more subtle experiences available as the magician. Why is it on your planet you have located this base state of mind, the clearing out of the old to make an empty container into which you may pour yourself and pour the Creator's elixir of life? Synonymous with that of the magician, the arms at the ready, the sphere of power and creativity held aloft, so that the eye may begin to see what it will see. My friends, what we are attempting to express is how magical, how creative, how teeming with potential the next step you take is. It calls to you and draws you in its inscrutable pregnancy of enlightenment and discovery. It is irresistible to that spark within you that remains despite any choices or degradations you entertain. A piece of the Logos, carefully placed within your heart. Within the heart, my brothers and sisters, not the brain. It is your task and goodsome opportunity to let your heart teach your intellectual, fretting mind that yields to your command and wishes. How to love in thought, to not simply express the feeling, which is, we confess, quite rapturous and all-encompassing. And in this love, you lose yourself. And in losing yourself, you have a glimpse of your true nature. However, it is then, when you return to the human condition, that so frequently you have experienced in those moments when you have paid attention, that you put that feeling, that faithful longing for unity in a vessel of sorts, a container. And we call this container the thought form, the constituted constellation of mental expenditures that has a stability to it and that you may cling to, so as to give your project of awareness in this illusion coherence and a continuity. Do not mistake the vessel for the liquid essence. Do not mistake the new experience to come with the experience of being empty. These are distinct in the stations of the wanderer's path. And if you can appreciate each, you have the capability to graduate, my friends, to a more refined synthesis where you dip below the constructs and taste the sea of spirit. We have described this as something far more seemingly concrete than is experienced by the typical mind, body, spirit complex. Because our words are a map. They are not the territory. And when we bid you adieu this afternoon and send you on your way, you will be the one who chooses the direction, who chooses which path on the map to follow. And it is your footfalls that will guide you towards your fate. We do not say that this destiny is set in stone, but we also need not confer upon your choices one by one an unlimited amount of agency. 4. They themselves constitute the synthesis of many dynamics within your complex. And in truth, we have, through other Confederation emissaries, hinted at the possibilities for a cooperative exploration of the elements involved in this synthesis. Now, again, though the paradox of free will and determinism is understood by you to be two sides of a coin, the spending of the coin is the thing that registers in awareness, whether you see it as happening to you or you happening to it. It is, as our brother Eric described, a moment in an infinite resonating wave between two mirroring surfaces. And it is through those practices with which your circle deals on a regular basis that this polarity resolves into a unity. In this unity, even of the moment, we bid you to tap in as often as you can, to drink from this well. It need not be you synthesizing water from hydrogen and oxygen every time you are thirsty. This well already exists. If you are to truly believe in the infinity of consciousness and to understand that the thought form is useful, that the container has the purpose of bringing this potential unity to bear in a moment that you are subject to, be it through the figment of your imagined selection or through the imaginary reception of the environment and the conditions about you. It is not a simple thing, my brothers and sisters, to orient the self, to orient the directionality of one's awareness when cause and effect are so slippery and confused. If it were in every respect up to you, third density would take much, much longer than it currently does. The yellow ray illusion is your salvation. The social intercourse you enjoy in circles such as this, even in conflict, even in disharmony. Teaches the seeker who has eyes to see that together is how the paradox is resolved. Together is how we cross the threshold such that we make new our commitments to one another, fresh our friendships and loves. It is far too simple for an instrument such as this to convey, far too elementary. And so we conjure up the visuals, the structures of thought which he may unfurl through his tongue and his vocal cords. Look through that, brothers and sisters. Look through it to the depth of feeling underneath, where knowledge is not something that must be remembered and processed, but is a bone-deep resonance, something you cannot escape if you wanted to. We trust you are entirely competent, each of you separately and as a circle, even those members who share a more distant relative position to this circle. You are entirely able to assist this planet and each other. For details of life in third density are overwhelming, and this is by design. They are there to make this love, this unity, tractable, so that you may grasp the crystal and turn it about. And through your eyes, the Creator may know itself. And in this way, you can safely step across the line. In this way, you can reach out your hand to he who is afraid to cross. You can extend your arms to your sister who, having crossed, feels forlorn and empty of all that has guided her to date. There is a role for each of you as individuals, but you discover it as a circle, as a planet. The distinctions are details. The essence is the prize. help each other refocus the awareness on that which matters. And you will meet any challenge, any calamity with confidence and the ability to find the love in the moment that much more surely. I am Kuo. Thank you for allowing this instrument to practice and to take such care with your paths in your own ways that we have this rich tapestry upon which we may point out the little ideas and feelings that are sufficient to guide you and, by extension, your brothers and sisters of this planet. It means so much to us to be in this communion with you, for to be sharing love with one of you and to be sharing love with the entire consolidated planetary entity is to us quite similar. Barely worth the distinction. May we answer any questions as a follow-up to this topic, or anything else you may have on your mind, my brothers and sisters. We are those of Kuo.
Kuo, I have some frustrating experiences with dissociation, which I think hampers my love and interpersonal connections. And I'm wondering if that's something I can leave behind a threshold, or it's something I need to work around to better connect with those around me while living with it.
I am Kuo. Thank you for your question, my brother. There is nothing wrong with you. Do you think, my brother, that if you did not feel this dissociation, the love within you would be different? That it would be more helpful or service-oriented? What you seek is comfort in knowing that you are well. If we could give you this comfort, we would. For it is the truth. There is absolutely nothing stopping you from serving in a way that would set an example on this planet for all who seek and all who wander from their planet to serve the birth of a new complex. When you learn to accept yourself better, my brother, you will know the truth of our words in that total way that you cannot know now. That is your threshold to cross. And it will be perhaps not as discrete a line as you might wish. However, you are not alone. Your circle that you cherish so has set for you an example of opening deeply, not simply to things that happen, to arrangements within the yellow ray complex, but those matters of the heart that cut through the nonsense, that cut through it so that the deep root gold may be seen, and in being detected so, faith to withstand the difficulties of having a personality are manageable. Each here has those elements of self they reject. None in this circle have fully accepted the self. You are no different, and your potential is no different than theirs. We appreciate, my brother Max, that you seek to be diligent in a pure way. And this is a stage on the path. There is a moment in which one has given all one can to expand the container. And one must accept in the moment those limitations that the self and the Creator have imposed. This is why our brothers and sisters of Ra spoke so wisely. Not of generating love, not of bringing it into some sort of new and fancy display, but of finding it. It is already there. It is your task to use its seeming absence as a beacon. For if it seems not to be there, all one must do is exert oneself a little more in the discovery of the true self, the embrace of the self in the other. What you pose as a dilemma is to us such a blessing. It would be for us worthy of celebration if we had our future distortions so clearly called out as you do. The path of the seeker is not one of comfort. So we end this response by simply reiterating that you must look for deeper emotional states than feeling ease with others in the moment. You must tap into a deeper love. And in fact, you have created these blockages for just this purpose. You are so close to realizing how kind you have been to yourself, how in partnership with your brothers and sisters, your role lies before you, begging and waiting for you to discover it. And yet, there is patience. We do not seek to disclose the meaning of the entire puzzle to you, but we do want you to consider a different relationship to that which you have decided is a problem. May we expand on this in any way, my brother. We are those of Kuo.
Thank you. We'll leave it there.
Very well, my brother. Are there other questions or concerns that we may address? We are those of Kuo.
Can you tell us about the cooperation within the Confederation and the hierarchy that it's based on?
Certainly, my brother. We are those of Kuo, and we will be using those of Monka as our shepherd through this query, as they are for this locale of the Confederation, the experts, shall we say, on the social confluence that creates the complex of love and single-pointedness. In each of these social memory complexes who have a membership relationship with this thought form known as the Confederation of Planets in service to the one infinite creator, there is a shared principle. This principle is difficult to enunciate in your language, for you have a language suited to the third density project, and we have very few members who are third density at the planetary level. It is something like we give this instrument an image of a pyramid of cheerleaders. At the very top is honor and glory. And yet, a wobble here, a misplaced step there, anywhere below that top most position, and the entire thing collapses. On the path of service to self, this collapse is the norm. And it is through superior ability to invoke energy and force that the pyramid is rebuilt. On our side of the poles, we simply revel in the ability of each of us to hold our brother and sister in careful support, with love, and a real sense of accomplishment through their accomplishments. When those of Hatan step aside in their service to this planet, there is no sense of loss or failure. They have the firm certainty that they are backed up by other planets who see what they do not. And in this sense, it is as if they see without the apperception that would comfort them. Much as a cell in your body does not know how its nutrients will be provided, it nevertheless does its task and is taken care of. Once individuality has achieved its apex of potential through polarization, the levels of hierarchical organization towards the shared principle are endless. And it becomes merely a matter of bringing into the heart what the mind now, with the veil drawn back, sees clearly. It is, in some ways, the inverse of the third density experience. Here, you must have faith that all is well and put yourselves to the task. But in fourth density and beyond, at least on the service to others path, it is almost as if the faith is the given, and it is the search for the task that becomes the true goal, the true struggle. This is made much, much easier when the cosmic distances you enjoy are collapsed through the progressive encounter with unity that the higher densities offer the seeker. One sees one's true self in the brother and sister, and therefore the accomplishments of one are the accomplishments of all. And the accomplishments of all, in some ways much more poignantly, are the individual accomplishment. You must stretch a bit to understand this in the concrete terms of your society. But this is your future as a planet. And we hope that these thoughts have formed an answer in your mind and heart so that you may put yourself that much more diligently to the acceptance of the self. For the planet depends on it, my brother. May we offer any other guidance on this matter. We are those of QO.
Maybe could you speak briefly on accepting the self? Or actually, I'll leave it be.
Do you not see, my brother, that you have answered your own question? Leave it be. We are those of QO. We encourage you to stop, we correct this instrument, to consider a state of affairs within your mind-body-spirit complex in which that which you struggle with, you simply cease. There is much the experience of being in distress teaches that your friends in the third density illusion cannot. We ask you to sit with that inner struggle and to loosen the grip slowly over time, rather than simply thinking that in each and every case of advancement on the path, the flash of light will reveal all. This, my brother, this enlightenment is in your future and, in truth, deeply ensconced in your past. You will not think it so. We correct this instrument. You will not think this realization into awareness. You must feel it. And in this, reach out to your brothers and sisters in this circle. Let them help you. What is to be lost? What is to be risked? That is truly precious on the seeker's path. We are Kuo. We are now at the end of our messages to you. It has been so helpful to us to see in detail what you labor on. These details confound and distract you. To us, they are the adornment on your majesty. They fascinate us as only the drama of third density can fascinate those who have graduated from it. And you, many of you, know this well. So, with a wave, we bid you adieu and take our leave of this circle in love and in light. I am Kuo, Adonai Vazu Barakas.
I am the circle and you are healing me. I am the circle and you are healing me. United people, we are one. United people, we are one. I am the circle and you are healing me. I am the circle and you are healing me. United people, we are one. United people.